Hey friends, welcome back to yet another exciting episode of Friends of the Squared Circle, where I'm your host, Cranderq, aka my real name, the #1 beard in all of pro wrestling podcasting, self-proclaimed, of course. Before we jump into it with returning guest Justin, not Travis, and the Tit-Tar superstar, the Studmuffin Supreme, Aaron, just a little PSA with everything going on in the world today. Stay positive. Enjoy pro wrestling and hug your friends a little closer. A lot of that going around lately. And I just want us here at Friends of the Squared Circle to say, this is a positive place. This isn't a political place. This is a place where we come together and talk about our love of pro wrestling and getting to hang out with our friends. Now, Aaron and Justin, a.k.a. Travis, are meeting for the first time on video here, and who knows, it's going to stem into a beautiful friendship. I talk to these guys every day because I just annoy the hell out of them, but just remember that pro wrestling is a way to come together and use it to help with those, I guess, gray skies, because there's a lot going on in the world, and we're not going to dive into it because some people go one way or the other. But just remember, love thy neighbor, have fun, and if you need someone to talk to, I can do my best over at Friends of the Squared Circle, and I'm sure Jay Rich will jump into that conversation too. Wrestling's our escape. I know it makes me feel like a little kid every time I get to go, and I just hate seeing what's out there right now because there's just so much hate in everything. Doesn't matter if you're, riding, the donkey into town or pulling it into town. Someone's got something to say. So just remember, the internet is a toxic place, but here at Friends of the Squared Circle, we are happy to make it a happy place. And enough of that Mr. Rogers and reading Rainbow's shit, because you're probably like, I'm not listening to this guy anymore. But just have fun and find what excites you and love that. And now we're going to dive into it. You all probably noticed my beard's a little short today. I am the #1 beard in all of pro wrestling, self-proclaimed. Leroy's probably thinking, oh, damn, he had to cut it. Psych, bitches, it's still there. I tucked it in. We're going from a sad moment to a happy moment. Leroy, I still have the #1 beard. Quick segue here. Let's just...
Beautiful prize. Are you ready, Jay Rich?
Am I getting this prize?
No, because it's for me.
Oh.
Read it out loud.
The #1 beard in pro wrestling podcast, self-proclaimed. Yeah, it is self-proclaimed.
Look at that. I got an award for the best beard in wrestling podcast. Leroy ain't got no award.
Yeah, because he did it to himself.
Doesn't matter how you get the award, right? Am I right? Am I right? That's right.
Wow.
It's your boy, Cranderq out.
Now, again, we don't know who gave me that award. Rumor is that it came from someone with a great beard that acknowledged my great beard. But all right, well, enough of that stuff. We just had to jump into something silly to kind of break the tension there. But guys, welcome back to Friends of the Squared Circle. We're going to do something different. You guys kind of know the rules, but for friends watching at home 6 months from now, friends that are just putting it on mute, you won't hear this. But we are going to have Travis... Sorry, I'm just kidding. Justin, pick a superstar, and then Aaron is going to pick a superstar, and we're going to rank what we think that match would look like as a TV taping. House show, which is the Drizzling Shits. It's going to be a TV taping, pay-per-view, or a main event at WrestleMania if it's that good. So buckle up, because this could be really good, or like I said, the Drizzling Shits. I'm excited to see where it goes. I've seen both lists, and I have proof that these are not just fabricated off the top of their mind to try to get a great match. So, all right. Who would like to go first? Is he going to play nice, or are they going to just say, I'm going first? Somebody be mean. I like this kid.
I can do the honors second if you'd like to go first.
I'll go first. Why not?
Perfect.
Oh boy. So why don't we start off with, and it could just be anybody from my list.
You can even go with the tag teams. You are leading the floor, and I'm just here to kind of add my 2 cents, or do a tiebreaker if you both pick something that I am interested in. So I'm kind of like the final vote, like The Voice. I don't know. We're winging it. We're winging it.
Well, I'll go first, and this one's for you, buddy. This is CM Punk.
Let's see. That's one let's see.
Who's he going to pull off his list?
I think looking at my list, I believe I actually think they're friends in real life, but I'm going to pull off Danhausen off of this list.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Aaron, where would you rank this matchup? Would you put it at a main event being super great at WrestleMania, or would you put it at, a house show?
That's a good one. I don't think it's going to be main event WrestleMania quality. I'll just say that.
Okay.
But I don't think it's going to be the absolute lowest tier either. I think this is going to be a very interesting spectacle. So I would say this is definitely worth of like a TV match on like a Raw or something.
Okay.
Sure.
Perfect. How about you, Justin?
I would agree with that. I think that's perfectly said. That's definitely not main eventing the WrestleMania, but I definitely think it's definitely several steps ahead of, a house show type match. So I would agree. Yeah, I think if that goes on a Raw or SmackDown, then that is the perfect spot for it.
Okay. And pay-per-view is the next tier. So just so we're clear, were you thinking pay-per-view or just TV?
Oh, okay.
Okay. So it'd be main event WrestleMania, best pay-per-view. Sorry. Again, we're winging it, folks. Just keep your butt in the seat. Pay-per-view would be second. Raw, SmackDown, AEW would be just above the house show. So I just want to make sure. Were you still going to stick with TV there, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go one step beyond, I don't think it would. I think maybe a TV, and if you really want to say maybe like a Saturday night's main event special, something like that.
Okay.
Sort of like that.
Perfect. How about you, Justin?
I would say maybe if the classic in your house pay-per-view was still around.
Oh yeah.
I would
I agree.
I would say first match on the card at an in your house pay-per-view.
Definitely be called cursed at in your house. Yeah. Yeah, it's teetering right there to be a pay-per-view match. Like I love this matchup. Like I will not take away what CM Punk can do in the ring, but Danhausen's just so fun, he bounces between, sticking it like MJF, in character the whole time. But I'm definitely going to give this that teetering, like you guys said, of being potentially like a lower pay-per-view quality match. I think it's going to be great. So that is a great start. And now I kind of want to watch that match. So WWE, sign Danhausen. Let's get that match before Punk retires on a big stage. So
do it, Paul.
All righty. We're going to roll into number 2. And Aaron, you're gonna take the second seat here. So now, Justin, you have to start us off on this round. And again, it can be one of the tag teams that you pick. This is your choice. I'm just here to add my 2 cents.
All right. I think on my list for the tag teams, I'm going to start off with the Faces of Fear, Ming and Barbarian.
Oh, I love them in WCW. They were my favorite. I would love to meet Barbarian, not Ming. I already met Ming.
Yeah. Absolutely agree.
Wow,
I think
that's a good choice.
Yeah.
Whoo, boy. Well, out of my list, I'm trying to think of who would best go against these guys. That's like, do I want like just a big meat brawl with big powerhouses, or do I want to see a really big contrast to styles? Hell with it. I'm just going to go ahead. How about we throw in the Lucha Brothers?
Okay.
Penta and Penta
all
and
right.
Phoenix.
All right, Justin, what do you think this would be rated as for a matchup? Kind of excited to see where you're going to go with this.
I would say I would put this one on pay-per-view because I think both of them have great styles, and I think that would be suited perfectly to be put on the mid card in a pay-per-view.
Okay.
Personally, but
I agree. I think you could even make this probably an opening match on the pay-per-view too, just because this would just be so like an unpredictable like match, because it's either going to be a squash match, which I don't think it should be, but if the Lucha Brothers are given enough leeway. They don't have to worry about selling too much. It could be either a train wreck or a spectacle. That's why I picked him, because it's like it could go either way. But definitely, it's something that you would need to pay to see on pay-per-view, I think.
Yeah, I'm going pay-per-view too. Another clean sweep. I'm just so excited because it just makes me think of those WCW days when you have the big guys versus the cruiserweights.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Lucha Brothers are a little bit, bigger than a lot of the cruiserweights, but man, I always loved Big Show versus Rey Mysterio, or a smaller guy with the big guy like Cody Rhodes and again Big Show, because it was just two different contrasts that just worked. A lot of people always say, "Oh, I want to see Andre the Giant versus the Big Show." It's like you're not going to get much out of it.
No.
You're going to get a lot of walking around and chops. You're not going to get any move sets basically. But unless you get early 2090, late 90s Big Show coming off the top rope, but that is a solid match, guys. Like that one could be potentially a dream match, because Barbarian Ming, man, not enough, credit goes to that tag team for being in WCW. I loved them. Yeah. I absolutely loved them. I love this pick. It's probably my favorite so far. Obviously, there's
just
only
imagining
two,
the Lucha Brothers just bouncing off of them. It's just like it would be a spectacle.
Yeah.
Or ending of the match similar years and years ago. It was a Ming against Chris Benoit. You can kind of see the finish where it's one of the Lucha Bros coming off the top floor and gets locked into the Tongan death grip to end the match.
Yeah,
nice. Yes,
or just chopping one of them out of the air, just like
Oh yeah.
So many outside dives. I can just see ring posts being like bread and butter. Oh man, it's got me excited. I'm gonna have to put that match up later on and what people think too. But all right, Aaron, match number 3. Man, we're almost booking a WrestleMania at this point. Go ahead and lead us off with what you want to run with here. So,
all righty, how about we go with Bret the Hitman Hart?
Oh boy, where is Justin gonna go?
Where would I go on that one? Bret the Hitman Hart. I have one on this list that I was actually watching a Bret Hart interview earlier this morning when I woke up. I think because of the Hart Foundation ties on this, I would have to go Davey Boy Smith.
Oh, okay.
Kind of the
and I know we're all going with this one, I bet. So, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. This is a great matchup.
I think in the days now, where the lights, compared to 1992, the lights and the stage is so much bigger.
Yes.
And I think the depth you can do with storylines, the writing has gotten better from 1992, where I would put this match personally, I would put this in WrestleMania. I mean, I think this could certainly headline any other pay-per-view. But I would definitely for sure put it somewhere on the card on WrestleMania for this one.
Yeah, and I can just see the story like going through my brain, the inner turmoil of the Hart Foundation, and sneaky little Owen playing both sides.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, our first WrestleMania match, definitely, and I could see it being high on the card, a box office draw, just because of what we've seen, like you said in '92. Man, I wish those guys were still around, and it would just make excellent television, like the Bloodline. Just a fabulous. I'm again just so excited because I can just see so many stories coming out of it. And like I said, Owen being that little shit going both sides, because he would.
I'll go one better.
Okay.
I'll go one better. Make it I think it could be either the co-main event or a main event quality, and make Owen the special guest referee. The unpredictability of that would be off the charts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
We just got a job in a pro wrestling promotion, guys.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you, friends.
We're getting
Till
calls
next
from,
time. We're done. We don't need to do this anymore.
we
been
should
a
be
good
getting
run.
calls from WWE Creative by the beginning of next week.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I'll even settle for the local indies because I love the indies.
Yeah. I actually, and speaking of Davey Boy Smith, I don't know if you guys watched SmackDown last night, but it was in London. And it was hard for me not to think about it, but Davey Boy always had that stalling suplex.
Oh,
And
okay. Yep.
Jordan Grace
Yeah.
had one of those in her match last night. And it's hard not to think that, you know, you're in a match, you use a stalling suplex in London. Somebody in the back, if it was, you know, Jordan Grace or not, somebody in the back said, "We're in London, we need to do something for Davey Boy." So the stalling suplex got broken out last night.
Yeah.
Which that made me happy. That might have been my favorite part of the show, just because I'm sitting there thinking, you couldn't have not done that with Davey Boy Smith in mind.
Oh, they had to have been. Had to have
Yeah.
been.
And the nice thing with all the streaming and the video clips now and wrestling kind of being where it is today with all the streamers, influencers, and stuff, a lot of people can go back and watch that and appreciate it more because they can finally put eyes on it, you know. And I was just talking with somebody, you know, I kind of briefly mentioned it to you, Justin, like Hogan could have helped so many other careers
Oh, yeah.
had they understood what they know now about presenting a new star to, you know, eventually take over so the other guy can rest, you know, where it wasn't just Hogan, you know. So imagine guys like Davey Boy Smith and Mr. Perfect, $1 Million Man, Ravishing Rick Rude, you know, getting those title chances just to showcase even more. So
Yeah, and I think it's sad that, you know, we don't have those guys around anymore. I mean, it's heartbreaking on the other end of it last night to see Jordan Grace use that stalling suplex last night, and thinking, you know, even if it wasn't done as kind of a small little tribute to Davey Boy Smith, it still kind of breaks your heart on the other end, because it's like, you know,
It reminds you of him.
It reminds you of him, and that I think, for me personally, that's one of the wrestlers that I wish was still here. You know, for me personally, and especially the last couple books I've read, being on the Hart Foundation, you know, the Natty Neidhart's book previously I read, and then right now I'm working my way through one of Owen Hart's books that his wife wrote.
okay, I'll have to check that out.
And just you know, seeing all these, you know, mentions of Davey Boy Smith these last couple books now, it's, you know, makes it harder to, you know, think that he's, you know, remember that he's not with us anymore. So.
Yeah, definitely. And I always think, like, man, I wish Owen would have just went to WCW with everybody too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With that cruiserweight division, with what he was doing, high flying wise,
more with Benoit, more with, you know, Rey Mysterio, Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko. I mean,
yeah, and they said, you know, it. I think it was in one of the last two books, but there was a mention of that same thing where they said, you know, just a couple of years after the event at Over the Edge happened, they said there were guys getting in there, you know, Eddie, Ray, Dean Malenko, RVD was mentioned in that same breath. You know, they said, just sadly a couple of years later, those guys were in there, and, you know, we missed out on a lot of good matches, unfortunately, I think.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
What could have been?
Yeah.
Not to segue from something so emotional and great, but Aaron, I believe you're starting this, or no?
Yeah, I think I'm leading this round.
Again, I'm a podcast host. I don't know what I'm doing. You guys probably wish Jay Rich was here with his beautiful bald-headed awesomeness. You know,
I think I think because I put Brett up first last time, so I think Justin's up next.
Perfect.
All right, I'll go.
I think Aaron knows what he's doing. He runs a podcast too.
Yeah,
check it out.
I think I'll keep it going, keep it even. And I'm gonna use it because it's there, and it excites me a little bit. I'm gonna pull out Furnace and LaFawn on this one.
Ooh, okay, all right. Well, I will match your Furnace and LaFawn with FTR.
Wow. Okay. That I I think personally, if you get both of these guys running at the levels that they were at, and I mean, a team like Furnace and LaFlamme, that was a respected tag team even before
Hmm.
they got to WWE or
Oh yeah.
WWF back then. Um, I think unfortunately their time in WWF wasn't a longer period of time,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Um, but I think if you get and Furnace and LaFawn, I think every one of their matches I've watched up to this point work their tails off. So I think if you put them in with FTR, I think depending on the pay-per-view, I think it wouldn't be any of the major pay-per-views like SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, but I think you could put that early on in a pay-per-view personally.
Hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. I agree.
And then, real quick, Justin, if you don't mind explaining for me too who they are exactly, so then we're all on the same page. If you know
Okay.
their
I
individual,
Yeah, and this makes me even happier because I put them on there and I'm like, man, if I get to plug a little
Yep.
Furnace and LaFawn today. Doug Furnace and Phil LaFawn were a tag team in the then WWF in late 1996 into 1997.
Hmm.
They had, and I think they had a lot of great matches. Both guys could move really well. And they weren't a big couple of guys, so they're not up there size wise with guys like the Legion of Doom or anybody like that. But it's almost, it'd almost be considered a cruiserweight tag team. If that makes sense, if you could if you kind of break tag teams down by size, but people have always said, back then on TV when they'd see the matches, I felt like it was always getting mentioned that Doug Furnace always had the best drop kick in the game,
He had a good
and
one.
was one of those guys that I think it wasn't necessarily spoken a ton, but I felt like those two always got good matches out of people, even if it wasn't like a big name tag team like
Mhm.
Owen Davey or stuff like that. That I think if it was not necessarily a veteran tag team, I think they could get great, great matches out of guys. If it was two guys that were similar in size, they're moving great together.
Hmm.
So that's my plug that I was looking forward to put in for Furnace and LaFawn.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
Uh-huh.
believe wasn't they were part of, were they like satellite members to Team Canada at one point, if I'm not mistaken, or
Uh,
they teamed with them at some
yes,
point?
actually, I'm coming up on watching that video, which I'll probably hit that one later today. That actually, I think that storyline actually worked out really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were on Team Canada at the
Heart Foundation, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that they were actually part of Team Canada at the 1997 Survivor Series, which
Okay.
Yes.
is a famous pay-per-view for,
For
everybody
very
knows a
weird
lot of it.
reasons.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like
Nothing
yeah,
really
not a lot of
significant
people have
happened
heard of
there.
the night. Yeah, people like 97 Survivor Series. I don't think I
What's
remember.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing happened here. That was just an ordinary day.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I think it was actually an interview that I think on the WWF pay-per-view, I think it was the Monday before where they had Furnace and LaFawn on the episode, and I think it was both of them working together in the interview, playing up to being on Team Canada, but I think it was actually more, I believe, Doug Furnace that was kind of more the vocal one on, when I was, speaking on an injury that, he goes, I got letters from people all over the world, and played into the Heart Foundation storyline of, how many letters I got from people in America? None. But the best letters I got were from ones in Canada,
Right.
So I think I believe it was Doug Furnace that actually, and I thought the interview sounded great myself, with how it was placed within the storyline. So
Nice.
Perfect. Well, I'm not going to add my 2 cents just because I'm a little unfamiliar with them. So we'll just segue into Aaron's next pick here, and
right.
we will go for that.
All right. Here we go. I think, what if we throw in, How about we put in MJF?
Oh,
MJF. All right, I think I've got a good one for that. I'm thinking of TNA here. I'm going to go with Eric Young, good old EY.
Ooh, that's an interesting matchup.
alrighty. Go
I
ahead,
would
Aaron.
look-
Start us out. Where do you think you were going to put this one?
I think this would probably be a good match on Impact, or perhaps an opening match to a pay-per-view. Just because I feel like this wouldn't be a long program. This would be like just sort of a short feud, I would think, because I feel like, especially if we're talking about dorky Eric Young from the day, I would love to see MJF just roast him, and I think that would be great TV. So either a prime spot on an episode of Impact or an opening match to a TNA pay-per-view. That's what I'm going with.
Now, is OBD going to be with him? OBD?
Oh boy, I was probably that would make it even better, because MJF that'd just be more fodder for him to throw out there, you know.
Yep, I got to agree with you there. Yep,
That's exactly what I was thinking too. I was thinking main event on Impact, and I think that would be a prime spot. You know, my thoughts on it. I thought, man, the interviews back and forth leading up to that match, though, pure gold. I mean, because like you said, if you get dorky Eric Young, that is prime interviews on any one of those shows.
Yeah.
I think Eric, to me personally, I think Eric Young may be one of those slightly underrated guys as far as and any time frame of his career. I think you can pick interviews or promos out and matches out and say, why aren't a couple more people talking about this? But yeah, that's, for some reason he said MJF. That was the first name that I saw on my list, and I'm like, oh, that's coming right off the page at me here.
Yeah.
I can just, like you said, roasting OBD, just with her food truck, being from Minnesota, just going after her so hard, and I hope he's super nice to her backstage, because he would just rip her apart. I love her personally. I've met her a handful of times now at most of the events I go she's at. Her husband is hilarious, so it'd be even, funny if he came out as like, because the Eric Young and her story, but like the side man or something, because he's a funny a-hole, like, because he kept making fun of me at the show because I told him I have the number one beard in pro wrestling podcast, self-proclaimed, and he's like, yeah, I see why it's self-proclaimed, kid. And I'm like, come on, like, he's working with Earl Hebner. You get him in the mix too, you got a whole couple months of television just going crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
because they're besties. So yeah.
Nice.
All right, Justin, lead us off with your next one there.
Oh man, I'm going to keep it even again, so we have a kind of an even split between singles matches and tag teams.
Whatever you want to do. I'm not worried.
This next one, I've got 3 more tag teams left on here. The next one, I'm gonna have to go with Scott Norton and Buff Bagwell, the classic Vicious and Delicious from WCW.
Ooh,
there's a good contrast right there.
That is.
I still have to meet those guys. I have Norton's book signed. They got to tell Bagwell to make one too, so he can get his story out there a little bit more. Besides Dark Side of the Ring, but yeah, he's got a great story to tell. And maybe our author, who's been on previous episodes, which you can find in the archives on our YouTube channel, with Ian Douglas, who has wrote countless books like Hornswoggle's book, Dan Severin's, as well as Brian Blair, one half of the Killer Bees. Make sure you check out all those, social medias. Check out our sponsors, Superior Creations, Inside Out Nutrition for your healthy teas, which you can drink out of your custom tumbler by Superior Creations. There we go. Segue back to you, Aaron. Got the ads out of the way.
All right. How about we put those boys in the ring with Axe and Smash of Demolition?
Ooh.
That I think is prime pay-per-view tag team action, because I think with Demolition, I think and part of me says, actually, I was going to say either one of them, but I actually think I would love to see Axe and Norton start out the match in a pay-per-view tag team match.
Big
Because
meaty
that's-
men throwing hands.
Yeah, yeah. And I think with Norton spending all that time overseas wrestling in Japan, and
Hmm.
I would love to see that on a pay-per-view. I think that could be a good tag team match on something like the Royal Rumble, or you say, okay, or even a Survivor Series match,
Oh,
where it's
yeah.
where those two tag teams each go and find a couple other guys, and you have your traditional 8-man Survivor Series tag match.
Mm-hmm.
There
So
you
I
go.
think that could slot in really well on a pay-per-view.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100% agree with that. It's just the spectacle of the it's going to be a bunch of potatoes going to be thrown around here, folks.
Yes, absolutely.
It's an Irish party. We got potatoes.
Samwise potatoes. Boil them, mash them, put them in a stew.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I always have this. I know, like with the Killer Bees, who I mentioned there, they used to roll in and out of the ring with the masks. Didn't they kind of do that a few times with Crush as well, where Crush would roll out and one of the other Demolition members would, go underneath to get fresh? I believe that was kind of a thing they did for a little bit too.
I think I do remember seeing that before myself too in a couple matches.
Okay. I think so. I don't know. I wonder if they did that when Crush was a part of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then they had that third guy to, make the heels a little bit more exciting. I always loved when the Killer Bees did it because I thought that was so cool. And I love that tag team. Like, I want to meet Brian Blair. I've already met Jim Brownzell because he's out of Minnesota here. And I got his book signed too. But yeah, I just thought it was kind of corny but super cool, and that's why I loved what the Bellas did when they first started
Twin Magic.
reliving that as well. So,
and a couple other guys that did that smaller name tag team, but it was in WCW during the Monday Night Wars. Was the Viano 4 and Viano 5 were a couple guys that used to do the same thing in WCW, and I can't remember. Their dad was somebody very popular in Mexican wrestling, as was a popular luchador. I can't think of what his name was, but I think actually he had 4 sons.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And I think all of them in some capacity worked as one of the Vianos. But really, I think during the Monday Night Wars, when those really started picking up, when WCW was winning every week, I think usually in the tag matches it was primarily Viano 4 and Viano 5, but they would roll back and forth out of the ring too for the other fresh one to come in and finish up the match.
Okay. Nice. I love it. I just think it's fun. That's what wrestling is. It's supposed to be fun. All right, we're going to wrap it up here shortly, folks. We're going to do one more. And then I just realized, guys, we didn't do a woman's list. So after we do this one, I'll do the quick ads again, talk about my awesome beard, and we'll each pick a lady for a triple threat match. And then we will close this out. So again, I lost track whose turn it is, but I believe it's Aaron's. So let's finish this up here, and then we'll do that last thing. Yeah.
All right. We're going to go out on a high note because they all can't be barn burners. Let's do Pirate Paul Burchill.
Pirate Paul Burchill.
There's a guy on our team who's a pirate?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember Paul Burchill. Yeah.
Dodgeball, underrated movie. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. You're wrong.
I think on this one, to go with that one, I feel like the guy on my list that I think I get a feeling when I'm looking at this list, I would have to slot Gangrel into that spot.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I know we're all thinking it. That's definitely a house show, but it would be fun, just to kind of see the vampire versus the pirate. I'd watch it. I would enjoy it, but we have to be realistic here. It's not going to put
You might be able to get away with putting it on like Sunday Night Heat, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. Or, I mean, it could do well in NXT, honestly. I feel like it could. It could be on NXT TV. Just this weird vignettes of a dude running around. Oh, where is the vampire? I'm going to, whatever. I can't do a Scottish fucking pirate, but man, that would be some interesting cameo / YouTube series.
Yeah.
Type
vignettes. Yeah.
I feel like, we would put this particular match on a house show, but if you take if we're talking Gangrel and the Brood with Edge and Christian, the wrestler may be in the house show, but the entrance, that's a quote unquote main eventer at
Oh my
WrestleMania.
gosh.
That
Oh,
old Brood entrance.
yeah. Mhm.
Yep.
I think, and I've seen people talk about it, they said even all these years later, almost 20 years later, that entrance I've seen on several lists
Mhm.
periodically each year still gets voted as one of the top 10 entrances in all
Oh,
of
yeah.
wrestling.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
I sit there and I think that anybody who argues with that, you probably weren't there.
They better dodge your wrench. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Is there any other pirate gimmicks out there that, like, if they came down to like a 3-on-3, would Burchell have some help? Is there any swashbuckling pirates that I don't know about? I'm trying to think. I mean, you
feel
can
like-
easily throw, like, I don't know, a Midian in there, where he's just creepy and weird with Mankind, just have these
Mhm.
deckhand type creepy people, but I can't think of any other pirate gimmicks.
That's a good
I
question.
think at one point
Give him the Red Rooster. He can be the parrot.
he had a match with, I think, a main event match with Bret Hart at one of the In Your Houses, Jean-Paul Lafitte.
Oh,
I
okay.
think
Oh,
kind of
yes.
had the
Yes.
pirate character.
He was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
actually I think that his nickname was
Paul-
the Parrot, I believe.
Yeah, he ended up becoming. He was Car Roulette, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Well, shit.
was.
Coco Beware's got a bird.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I believe
Coco.
Carl
Oh,
Roulette, I believe
I
he
got
was
one.
half
I
the
got one. The rated R superstar Edge.
100%.
That is the best dad joke ever in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to somehow clip that. I don't know. But all right.
There you go.
As we wrap this up, once again, folks, check out our sponsors at Superior Creations. Get all your custom tumbler needs there. You go to Facebook /MN Superior Creations. You can get your rated R superstar. You can get Paul Burchell. You can even get the Studmuffin Supreme, the Tit-Tar superstar on there if you needed a custom tumbler, as well as Inside Out Nutrition for healthy shakes, teas, and donuts. Yes, healthy donuts, folks. My friend sponsor Bobby is really killing it there in the game of the healthy world, as well as don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We don't really use Twitter too much anymore. You can find me on Cameo for $3. You can have me wish you happy birthday. You can wish me or have me wish you anything you like that isn't beard slander. And then real quick, Justin, anywhere people can find you on social media, and then we'll get to Aaron there, and then we'll do this final question and wrap her up.
Yeah, I'm out there under Facebook and Twitter, or not Twitter, Instagram myself. So I'm out there if anybody would love to talk pro wrestling and set up some good conversations like we have on here today. I'm definitely all for it.
And you are accepting podcast bookings, right, to get on more shows?
I am accepting more podcast bookings free of charge. Just happy to talk about good old professional wrestling as always.
Love it. And Aaron, I know you got a list, so let's get them in there for you, bud.
Yeah, you can find me over on TikTok. You can look me up there. I'm also on Instagram. You can also go to YouTube, Rated R Wrestling Podcast. That's the one I host with my brother and my buddy. We also have a Facebook group, Rated R Wrestling Podcast on Facebook. We share memes, all sorts of great stuff about wrestling. If you love wrestling and want to talk about it, you can go there on there as well.
Perfect. And book that Cameo. Don't forget that.
Yeah, I do have a Cameo.
We got to
as well.
plug that. You're now on Cameo just like me, and his are going to be way better, folks. So definitely get one from the Tit-Tar superstar, a Studmuffin Supreme, man, because I cannot wait. I know my brother and sister don't watch this. They're going to hate their birthday present this year.
Even better.
But you know what? It's worth it, Justin. If you got someone's birthday coming up, get a hold of Aaron, because this is the greatest thing on the internet right now. And I love it. I wish I had the body confidence that you did, buddy. Like, and your dance moves are killer. I don't care what anybody says. Disco Conferno can off. You're the leading dancer in my book now. But
appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Who would like to drop their first name on this final match? Next time we'll have to do a woman's theme here. I've got my name wrote down, but who would like to reveal their name first?
You can go first, Justin.
Okay. I would say one of my favorite female wrestlers. Well,
Mae Young.
I would say from the past, like now I like watching, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, but I think for some reason Luna Vachon, and I think that's because I always loved watching
That's going to match up great with mine.
anything Bam Bam Bigelow related from when he was wrestling. I was in, and it was something about how she pulled off everything, especially in the interviews, how she prevented that or produced that voice in the interviews. I felt like that always kind of drew me in, and you always wanted to pay attention.
She used to scare the hell out of me when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it's just something. I think she had the look that fit her. I can't imagine her with any other look and style than what she had. So I think
Exactly.
from point A, they had that look and style for her spot on.
Nice.
All right, Aaron, you're up.
That just makes my pick feel even more better because I'd love these two to square up. I'll just go throw Rhea Ripley in there. I think that would be great.
I think
I like it.
I agree. And I think the ring psychology just between those two, I think that would be primo, personally, my perspective. But man, that could be some great ring psychology.
Talk about a slobber knocker.
Yes.
And the vignettes, I always like to think of what the story would be. You got crazy Luna Vachon and mommy with all her confidence. And then you've got my pick, who's not going to say much, but she's going to whoop some ass. Awesome Kong. I absolutely loved Awesome Kong when she came out. She wasn't your typical, this isn't body shaming women or any means like that. She wasn't the petite model athlete. She was a no-nonsense, again, not to body shame, a little bit bigger, force to be reckoned with, and I wish she would have had her time in WWE to go through that division as well. But my pick is Awesome Kong. I think we have three different styles here, and I would put it on, for a women's match of Mania, because I believe Luna deserves it, and Awesome Kong deserves a little spotlight. Now, it doesn't have to be the main event. It doesn't have to be, a highly big match, but with mommy in it, it's going to be high profile. But, and I don't know why I'm calling her mommy. It's Rhea. Sorry. I always feel weird saying that. I'm going to put it on WrestleMania because I think the three styles clash is going to be great. The promos, the build up, the sneak attacks from Luna, I love what it could be written about. I'm going to put it on WrestleMania. So.
Oh, absolutely. Plus those break spots where someone will roll out of the ring and you get those one-on-one moments, just the stare down, like Luna staring up at Awesome Kong. Oh man, that to quote Tony Schiavone, that'll put some butts in some seats.
Kong's not going to back down from Rhea, so that's going to, give you that element of,
just to try to see her put a riptide on her. That would be great.
Yeah, it's going to be that WrestleMania picture you constantly see, like, Andre and Hogan, where you've got this stare down of two different styles. I love it. I love this matchup.
And I think too, like what you said for Awesome Kong, I think, you could apply to Luna Vachon as well, because if you think kind of part of that typical, in wrestling to some extent, you've got kind of the out of the box women's wrestlers, and then the ones that kind of fall into that beauty queen category. And I don't want to say that as like any sounding derogatory, because I'm not meaning it that way, but I think, you get somebody like Awesome Kong, like what you said, and then you get somebody like Luna Vachon, who, if you grew up with, somebody that looked after you like she did with good old Mad Dog Vachon, you're not somebody that's ever going to be caught tiptoeing around in that ring.
No.
The crazy aunt with the smoker cough voice. Go get me a pack of beer, would you, kid?
Yeah, absolutely.
But all right, folks, if you want to be just like Justin and Aaron and be featured on another episode that we do of Friends of the Squared Circle, look no further than Facebook. Send us a message. We're happy to do your wrestling fandom as well as fun episodes like this. I thought it was a lot of fun, guys. I don't think we do the drizzling shits at all, unless you watch, a David Flair match with Little Nate. But thank God you guys did not pick those names. But it's your boy Cranderq and Aaron and Justin, and we're out of here.